That error occurred. Wait a moment. Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Hey, Bobby, Jim, Mike, 2 different mics, JW, Fred. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope we're all well. Hey, Julie, good morning. Nate, Roger. I'm still drinking a little bit of coffee here. Hey, Stefan. Okay, so 2 days of knee jerk. That's what we've got going on here. T2123 Friday was really, really weak. It didn't fail. It will fail this morning. It's going to be down into bearish territory here. So we'll bring that back up when it shows up. Excuse me. So Friday on the SPY here, we ended up with this bearish engulf failing this breakout up here. This morning, we're gapping down below the 50-period moving average. Below the 50-period moving average is going to be a problem. I think it's a problem. I always look at it as a problem. The bulls aren't going to roll over, okay? I just don't believe the bulls are going to roll over. We may certainly go down a little bit more. In fact, if you look, there's a little bit of a gap here. We could get down to that 585, I guess. If you're using the words like we could get all the way down to the 200. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, I don't believe the bulls are going to give up. It doesn't mean they're going to get to roaring again, but I suspect somewhere in here the bulls are going to try to come back up. But they're going to have a lot of resistance, great big speed bump, a rough one to get through. So what we could see for the next few days is definitely some choppy up and down, uncommitted price action is what it is. So keep that in mind. If we take a look at the diamonds, though, diamonds aren't doing too bad, are they? Bearish engulf Friday, down today, holding above the 50-period moving average. Again, that will be very, very important. There's just a psychological something in everyone's head. Big investors, psychological. Below the 50 is just not going to be good. So keep that in mind. IWM, we actually never closed above the 50 here, Pat, last week. And now we're gapping down a little bit. So all that work the IWM did pretty much out the door. IYT transports, not looking so good there, still more downside. And I'm saying that because of this. Let's see, there we go. If you look at price is below the T-line, and the T-line is below the trend indicator. This morning when the market opens up, the T-line will be below the trend indicator there. So we've got our road to wealth trend setting up. And what that looks like for the no one knows is like this right here. You've got price right here below the T-line and the T-line below the trend indicator. So that means our trend is bearish right now. So we want to be careful with that. SMH, well, not so good. Not good at all. Gapping down today. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the market. A lot of pressure. Qs, I don't think I looked at that. Look at the Qs. Qs gapping down. A little bit of a trend line there. Let's see if it can hold up. Yeah, let's see if it can hold. There'll be a good story told today how everything's going to settle out. That's for sure. No doubt. Let's see here. Make this a little bigger, I think. There we go. Number-wise, what's going on today? There's not much going on today. Let's see. Can I make that bigger? There we go. Yeah, there's not much going on today. Durable goods. It looks like some housing numbers coming out. Consumer confidence. New home sales tomorrow on Tuesday. And why am I having so much making that thing? There we go. There you go. I can make it bigger. some EIA petroleum numbers on Wednesday, Thursday, GDP and jobless claims, and then Friday, personal home and outlays, income and outlays there. So nothing really, really big, but nevertheless, it's out there. So we want to keep an eye on that. What else have we got? Well, let's just look at some charts. There's going to be long and shorts. On the short side, as an example, if you look at XLE, I was down pretty good Friday. Chasing might not be the best idea. Might want to wait till we kind of pop up a little bit, show a little bit of bullishness, get a better buy. Then we can look at those shorts. Excuse me. And then remember, just because we were down Friday and we're down this morning doesn't mean that we're going to continue to go down. So we want to be very careful and watch price. Remember that cash is a position. There is a super excellent chance today that, I'm going to be here all day, but I might not buy anything until late to the day because I want to see how the market actually does toward the end of the day, because right now it's just a drama, knee-jerk reaction, and we need to have a shot of tequila and calm down is what we need to do. So get your glass out here, buddy, and I really think that would be the best thing. What else have we got? Let's look at some charts here. Let's take a look at Google. I think Google still looks fine. I think Google's in a nice, beautiful trend. I still think Google has some upside. It may be a little slow and choppy, but overall, Google's trending. Take a look at Duke. Look at Duke here. We talked about this one Friday. That's a beautiful chart. Up over the 200, the 50 period moving average. The trend indicator is in place. Everything's working. We've got a very nice flag setting up. I'm watching at 114 and change, 117 and change, 120 and change. Fantastic looking chart. Let's see here, just so we don't want to slight any of the shorts, right? So let's look at Upwork. Here's Upwork. You can see we failed here. Came down to the 50. Bulls tried to get it, couldn't do it. Now we're under the 50. Under the 50 is always a problem. Price is below the T line. T line's below the trend indicator. We can come over here. And so far this morning, we're through the support. We could actually go to that low if you want. Support. Right now, it looks like the dotted deuce and 200 might be the direction it wants to come. So let's watch Upwork for a short. Put that right in there. Let's take a look at FI. FI is holding up quite well bullishly. If we take a look at that there, we've got that high. T-line, our price is above the T-line. T-line's above the trend indicator. Not difficult. Trend indicator is working. We're above the 50 period moving average. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to buy squat today until we get late in the day and I see how the market is acting. And I'll bet we can find a few better charts. So remember, I'm gonna go with cash is a position, and we'll just kind of play it and see. So, but charts like this, they're acting really good, so they will be on the watch list just in case. And throughout the day, I'll be posting charts to the watch list, looking for what I think might be the best ones to buy. So toward the end of the day, be doing that. SQQQ, keep an eye on the inverse trades. If the market is going to tank, the inverse trades will come up quite nice. And here's SQQQ. Here we have a 3-bar bottom. Here we rally up. We pull back to a higher low. We're gapping up this morning. The key to this one is we need to be above 30.86 here, above this candle. And that'll show that the bulls the bears are still interested in moving up. Anything below, well, they're just wandering around. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. The leader is not in the room, and they're just going to corral around and do nothing. Let's see, what another? A GM. A GM might be a nice short here. Let me put the weekly on. Here's the weekly. We're coming down that 50, and if we can, get through that 50, and even there, that makes a nice target. And then we'll put another target on the dotted deuce there. Go back to the daily. So there's some targets there on that GM. The GM might be one of those that's punished with all this tariff business, and well, we might get a very nice short out of that. Watch that. AAL, another one looking short. This is a very nice blue ice failure here, setting up. We've put in that top gap down, just did a lot of nothing, and now we're below that 50 period moving average. Anything back over the 50 just puts us back in the bullish ball game, especially over the dotted deuce right now. If it moves over that. Moving down now, we want to just put a line here and just draw that line down. And where you start seeing support, here you've got some price action support, so around 1480. Below that, I'm going to look at the dotted deuce and then the 200 period moving average. So those are a few charts looking good here. So I want to stop. Does anybody have any charts you want to look at? Anything? Hey, Daryl, good morning. Let's see, what is that? TNDM? Sure. TNDM. So I apologize. I got a frog in my throat. So TNDM here overall looks pretty good. I mean, it's still trending up, nothing bad. It's not gapping down or hard like a lot of others are. But the thing on TNDM is I would put that wedge in there. Me personally, which it's just, the way I trade, I wouldn't touch it inside here. I would wait for a bullish breakout or a bearish breakout. I don't know if you're looking at bulls or bears, but bulls need to break out, bears need to break down. But right through here, putting in that wedge, it's just dancing around doing nothing right in there. VXX. Yeah, VXX. So we've got this gap up. It needs to stay bullish. And what I'm going to do is this black candle over here needs to stay above that line. If we pull back, what that's doing is just saying the strength is not there. The interest is not there. On the other hand, we stay above that 4670 area. It shows that there's some fear in the market. This is a great chart to watch or to trade. The more fear we have in the market, the more the market is going to sink and get weak. So this will be definitely a chart that I'll be keeping an eye on today. Let's take a look at KC. Someone's asking me. KC. So, here's the question. One, are you going to chase a gap? You got to ask that question. Two, can it go higher? Yes. Are you willing to trade it in this market? You've got to ask that question. Maybe you're looking at a short. I don't know. Very little information on the question. I wouldn't short it because the chart's not short. So I don't know. What are you going to do with it? And then, of course, there's always that, well, you might be in it already. Well, put your stop in and trade the trade. The market's going to be garbage. Keep that in mind. So it will probably make 99% of charts garbage. So have your rules in place. Very important. Okay. All righty. Hey, Rickster. Margin calls. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of margin calls this morning. So it might, push that market up and around a little bit. But I wouldn't chase first thing this morning. That I wouldn't do. Sit quietly. Now, of course, you may be in charts. You may be in charts that are down. Here, I can show you one I'm in. So I'm an NEM here. And I bought NEM, and it didn't work out Friday. It went down. Okay, I'm still going to hold it. One, it's a gold. So gold's been doing pretty good here. I'm going to hold it. So um, here's what I'm going to look at. Here's what I look for, okay, is price is above the T line. T line is above the trend indicator. I can see here that the trend indicator is nice and green, which means there's a good trend. T-line above the trend indicator, that's a good trend. I love trends. So the trend is the way to go. Targets, I'm looking at I'll do it this way. This 45 area right there, which is the dotted deuce in the 200 period moving average. And then I'm looking at this 47 area up here above that. So you can see that this is not failing. So I'm going to hang with it. Okay. I'm going to stay there. Looking pretty good. So let's look at C. C. Try that again. C. There we go. C. This is one I am in. I held this over and you can see it pulling back. So what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm not going to panic, number one. Just not going to happen. And then I see some wick in the bottom. Okay. Now that makes not panicking a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is watch this candle. And since I'm in it, there's an excellent chance I add to it, because now I get a chance to lower my cost. And if I lower my cost, that actually puts my break-even target lower rather than, back up here. So I have an option that if the chart was to start moving up, maybe it gets to my break-even point, I could have a choice to get out of it and break even, or it might keep running up, which we know darn good and well it's going to do something like this, and then maybe, whoops, green, and then maybe like that, and then maybe it gets back into what we've been looking for it to move up. So here's a case. It's not crashing. If it was crashing and there was nothing below that might stop it, I would get out of it first thing this morning. But right now, we're sitting here at the dotted deuce. We're holding my, this line here is my linear regression line, and I'm going to have to go look. I can't remember where I keep it. Sometimes I move it around. That's the linear regression of my 25 period moving average. So it's holding the trend indicator and the 25 regression line. So I think I'm going to hold that right there, and again, possibly add to it to get a better price in there. So hope that made a little bit of sense. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, we have a few minutes. Let's take a look at a couple others here. Good morning, Ravi. I'm not sure I just see a question mark. Oh, we did look at that one. Thank you. AM, let's take a look at AM. Not too shabby, floating along pretty good there. Let's take a line and draw it from here to here. You can see we're above that trend line. Price right now is above the trend indicator and the 25 linear regression line here. We've got a low, high, higher low so far. I think that's a pretty nice chart. Earnings in about 11 days. So watch that. But overall, it's not crashing. It's not following what the market is doing at the moment, this big knee-jerk reaction. So we've got some potential here. We start to break out over that 1630, there could be some real potential. Anything below there, I would consider it a cash day, honestly. So I wouldn't take myself. This is just my opinion, my trading. I wouldn't take risk today. It either working. I want to buy working charts, not I hope they start working charts. One thing today might do is if you're looking for some long-term charts, it might offer some opportunity for some long-term charts. Trading charts, though, I think I want them to be working. All right. Any other questions? Let me check out the scanner here, see if there's anything popping up. Let's see here. Let's take a look at ARCC. ARCC is holding up fairly good. Let's flag that. But we ought to pick on a short too, hadn't we? Um, GGAL. There's GGAL. Might be headed to that 50-period moving average. Below the 50-period moving average is the short that I would want to look at through there. So here we have where we fail up, we come up, and we didn't break out. I mean, I know we broke out, but it was a disaster. It was a car wreck. I mean, it failed. So here we're coming down. Below the 50 would be a shortable trade. What is Crocs doing? There's Crocs. Crocs still looks short. Let's look on the bullish side. Check out Amazon. Now, I know Amazon has earnings in a couple of days, but what a beautiful chart here in Amazon. Nice move up, had a gap down. There's some buyers took advantage of a good chart when it dipped lower, only because of a knee-jerk reaction, not on its own merits. Good morning, MW. How are you? Let's see. Can we look at ASML? ASML, is that right? ASML. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I would put this on my just a watch list personally. A couple of things we've got going on here. One, I think we need to break out. I'm assuming you're looking at it bullish. I could be wrong. But bearish, you're going to need to break down. Bullishly, you're going to need to break out. And then you're going to need to break over those tops. So let's be realistic. Do we have to buy around that right now? Is it worth 8%? Maybe, maybe not. You got to ask yourself that. Or once we break out here, the sky could be your limit. I mean, it actually has tons of potential. Target. Fill the gap, target. So now, let's do this. Once we break out of this mess, all the way up there is 35%, to here's 21%, here's 12%. So you've got to ask yourself, do you want to fart around down here when the market is, honestly, just a rat's nest? Oh, wait. Again, this is one of those charts that might be a long-term chart now that I think about it. That's very possible. If that's the case, you've got a little more leeway. So if you were to buy it here, long-term, I think a lot of people I tend to be a little more forgiving. So 670 might be my target there. Anyway, that's not a bad chart. I kind of like that. Thank you. I like the idea of it. It just needs buyers. Hey, Plano, good morning. You want to look at Tesla? Right now, I would have to be short on Tesla, just the way it's set up here. So here's what I mean. You've got price, T-line, trend indicator. They're all stacked to the downside. So right now, I would have to be short Tesla. I also think Tesla needs to break down like all that, getting through that level right there. And then that could really, make that short work. And then we've got some targets down here. Now, on the other hand, you got to watch Tesla. If Tesla starts to get a little goosey, watch that bullish attitude here. Friday, I almost went long TSLL. And I had told everybody, look, I'm thinking about going long TSLL. But at the time, this is what the chart looked like. Okay. And then the more I looked at the chart, I kept asking myself, why am I thinking about buying it? Well, then I realized, okay, slow down for a minute. Let's think about charting. Is that the buy? And for some people, it absolutely was. Okay. But the reality is we need to break out of that trend line. The reality is we've got a low, high, lower, low. We need to break out of that higher high. That's trading rules 101. The buying down here is gambling rules 101. Trading rules, buying up here is trading 101. So this is more likely where the best buy will be. And I would say if it could break out and start, here's a possible scenario. you know, we'll go a breakout. Maybe we run up a little bit. Maybe we pull back a little bit, give it a couple days, test, and then come up. That might be a good buy area or up in there. So that's what I'm going to end up looking for the whole Tesla TSL trade, is to move out of the gambling side of things, or the hope. You buy it. Okay, I hope that red line doesn't keep it down. I hope we break out of that 3180 area. I would rather trade, hey, we did it. Let's rock and roll. So anyway, there's my thought on Tesla. EQT looks great this morning. Yeah, that's one of those on my buy list. However, I'm probably not going to buy it till later today. I know that if he's still in it, there is one member in the room that still has this. Don't know if he's still in it, but I know that he owned it. Anyway, looking very, very good here, and that's EQT. I'll look at possibly buying that toward the end of the day. Let's see. Did I do the SPY? I did. Yes, I know. Yep. SPY is kind of junk right now. I don't know if I want to chase a short on it. I want to wait to the end of the day, see what the bulls do. Under the 50 period moving averages, which right here, under that is a problem. That is a problem. We don't need this here anymore. There we go. That's a problem. So we need to see what price is going to do here. And, what are the possibilities, right? Price just wakes up and says, to hell with you bears. Goes like that. Okay. I'm going to change the color. Let's see. Go that color. Or it just sits here and kind of does nothing, just sort of floats around, tries to move up, and then moves down. Option there. And then, of course, there's this option where it just starts to move down. And, of course, it might move up before it moves down. So all this is going to be hard to trade. And I would say the majority, we're talking like 95% all traders are going to try to trade this. And very few of them are actually going to come out at the end of the day or at the end of the week with profits. So for me, it's be very, very careful. Don't lose any money. It's more important not to lose money than it is to make money at this juncture in the market, the way things are going, because we don't know what shoe's going to drop next. First it was, hey, I'm going to toss some tariffs out there, like, you're feeding, bird feed. And then over the weekend, it's done. There's some tariffs. Now you get Canada and Mexico kind of biting back. And, let's face it, our president is somebody you don't threaten or push, because, well, he'll just go after you. And that's what he's doing. So what you got is this battle, this war, and you got no idea what shoe's going to drop next. So it's just not worth it. And I think next couple of days is going to be a bit of a rat's nest. So anyway, there we go. What time is it? It's time to go. Hey, in about 15 minutes, let's all meet up at the open. I want to thank everybody here from the social side of everything. Thank you for dialing in and watching. Thank you, all the members. I appreciate you all being here so very much. We'll definitely get some charts out there and trade later today is what I'm gonna be looking at. Okay. You guys take care. Thank you.